Spirit, 1954.
Yeah, I thought maybe I'd lost. I don't know what I was. I don't know what.
Do you remember the tune?
No, I don't think I do. I don't even remember the tune I had to.
Did you?
Let me see it. You sing it. You sing it.
Well, how could I sing it?
Make a tune to it.
Make up on Paul and sing it.
Tune up, I want to see you make up to it.
Mama, tell us about the dream you had on time of under Westminster about the end of time.
Oh,
That dream you had about that.
yeah, I had a dream, and I guess so, but I don't know all the kids. Would you hold me in?
Yeah, we were all little kids, because you had what was on Wilson Mesa.
Yeah. Or was it there, or was it down River Road?
Mm-mm. You had one about that was the one you had on River Road where you was running to meet Jesus.
Yeah, I was running.
But this one was when you seen the Judgment Day.
Yeah. Well, I seen him coming. I was out. I was on the porch. I run out in the yard, and I looked up in the clouds, and I seen him coming, just as plain as could be. And I started to run down to meet him, just as fast as I could go. I was running in my dream, and I got partway down. I thought, no, I'll go back. And I better go back and tell my children. They're all in the house there. I better go back and tell them. And I turned and started back. And then that scripture come to me. You don't turn back, you know. So I took out a run again, and I was going to meet Jesus. I could see him just centered in the clouds as good as could be.
Could you see his face, Mama?
Huh?
Did you get to see his face?
Not exactly, but I just see him. I see like he's up in that cloud coming, you know.
You just can't. You just see it in your spirit or something, but you don't see it. What about that one on Judgment Day, Mama? There where the road was so narrow.
Oh, I was. There was a whole bunch of us standing on a place, and we had to go up the place we had to go. We stand on one side, and the place we had to walk over was just a little bit of narrow, awful narrow bridge, and down you could look way down deep, and I think there was water down there, and I remember Avery and there was quite a bunch of us standing on this side, and we had to cross that to get to Jesus, and he was on the other side, and I remember Avery told us, he said, we had a certain time we had to leave and go. And I remember telling Avery, I said, Avery, I don't think I can make it. I said, I can't walk that little bridge. And he told me, he said, yeah, he said, don't get your eyes on that bridge. You look right across and you look to Jesus. He said, you'll make it, but be sure and look across and see that go meet the Lord. And he said, our time's about up, so we've got to start in just a little while. Well, our time got up, we started, and I got down to that, just a walk. It was awful narrow, and he was ahead of me. There's quite a bunch of us going, and I got about middle way there, and I thought, oh, I'll just glance down. I guess the Lord had me do that, and there was souls. Oh, I don't know how many souls just praying, lifting their hands up and asking God's mercy to be upon them. There's a whole bunch of them praying, wanted to be right with the Lord, and there they was down there just perishing. And I remember going on over there, and then I met Jesus on the side. I went across, and I made it across and met him. And Avery and a whole bunch of us were there. A lot of us made it across, but there's an awful lot of them down there just praying and lifting their hands up, begging the Lord. But the time was too late. And I had that dream, a vision or something. I guess it's a dream.
What do you think it meant?
Well, I think it meant that we better get our eyes right on the Lord, and we better pray one for another, and not, because there's a lot of souls that's not saved, And I think the Lord wants us to pray for souls and get our eyes, actually keep our eyes right on the Lord. we used to have so much, I guess it's, well, it was good for us, so. We used to follow the Lord, we thought we just,
What do you think, Mama? What do you think about, when we were all little kids? And how did our mornings start and our evenings finish when we was all home?
when, home,
Uh-huh.
well, we prayed a lot, didn't we? We actually had prayer, I remember praying before you kids went to school and everything, we had prayer.
That was the first thing that did when we did, as a family,
Yeah.
we had to
We
pray.
had to pray, we prayed, and then we, of course, prayed the last thing at night, too.
So you had family devotions
Twice
twice?
a day.
Oh, they
Always
used to
late to
pray.
school.
Always used to pray at night and read the Bible, and I'd have to lay down on that wood pile and go to sleep, and they'd try to wake me up. A terrible time with it. That's a good prayer.
You got a frog in your throat. Have a drink of water.
You ought to be up preaching to us all the time.
Yeah, you ought to
Kind of keep us stirred up.
the way the experiences you've had, you need to keep, well, you have. We appreciate it.
Well, I think of it a lot of times and know that the Lord, He does. He don't give you them dreams and visions for nothing. You've got to take.
How did you know it was the Lord?
Well, I know it was because I couldn't have done it. And I seen that when I had to cross that narrow bridge, it was just so long, and I didn't think I was going to make it. and I could see Jesus on the other side. He was holding his hands out. And we had to cross that little narrow, it's awful narrow. And if you fell, one side or the other, you just go down. You couldn't, that'd be it. I don't know hardly what that meant.
And
I guess
You
straight and
walk
narrow
straight.
way.
Straight and narrow.
Straight and
Straight
narrow.
and narrow.
Well, that one.
You had to keep your eyes on the
And
Lord.
keep your eyes on the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, that's the main goal, and then you could look down and see what was going to happen if you didn't. That's what it would mean to me. There's scripture to back that up, you know, there's a narrow gate and a wide one, and there's going to be many go in at the wide gate. You go in the narrow one. That's for sure.
Of course, you ought to keep those in mind, and you ought to keep stirred about it, because the Lord don't give you them dreams and visions for nothing. He wants you to see, and it is, and we know it is a straight and narrow way.
You know, you have to keep geared up for it, because, you know, the Bible also teaches there's going to be, you look at our society today, and everybody's professing some kind of Christianity, but it says that not everybody that says, Lord, Lord, is going to make it, going to enter in. It's going to take a peculiar, special people, God's people that's born again, sold out to Him.
Well, we've got quite a heritage, though. Daddy and Mama both. From about the time I was about 6, I guess. I remember when you folks, I was about 6 years old when you folks got saved.
Yeah.
And then we were trained, and we were in church. And then when we moved on to Wilson Mesa, and we had to do, just live by trust in the Lord alone. You know, we had good food and that. The Lord supplied our food, but we didn't have money. But we did have food, but we had devotions every morning and every night, reading the Bible and praying. So we have an awful lot to be thankful for. And every one of us, and you know how wonderful it is. There's 8 of us children, and every one is saved, baptized, and filled with the Holy Ghost. And the only way we could do it is through the faithfulness of Mom and Daddy.
Well, the thing of it is, you know, the heritage we have, and we know there isn't one of us kids, and especially down to Charlie and David, and probably plumb down to Arthur, that every one of us was in them times, And today, I wonder, are we leaving that kind of a heritage with our kids? We're professing, you know, but where you actually have to be led and taught and showed. And I think it's high time that we as Christian people, I'm talking about us old guys now, if we've talked about what happened back, like Mom and them, happened to Mom and them, we've seen it, we know it happened, we know it can happen, but you can talk to some of our kids as kids, and they don't even know what you're talking about, to see God really move. They know God and they're saved. I'm not saying they're not saved, but you know, it'd scare them to death if they'd have to get in a position like that where they had to really rely on God, and for a mouthful of hotcakes, they just wouldn't understand that, you know. And we ought to be in a place to where we could teach them to believe in God just like we were taught. And I can think, you know, lots of things that Daddy taught me and Mama taught me that, you know, I didn't even have any doubt. When Daddy asked me if I wanted to trust a doctor or the Lord, and he said doctor, that scared me to death. I didn't know what a doctor was, you know. And so I said the Lord. And Daddy, I remember Daddy's testimony that time, and he was a ball, and he was a ball baby like me. When he talked, he tried to talk, he balled. And he said, I've had faith in God for everything but a broken bone. You know, he was a new Christian. And he said, I could believe God could do anything except heal him. He said, I couldn't see how God could heal a broken bone. You know, so he wanted to take me to the doctor for that. And I didn't even have that arm set. I don't remember which one it was now. Probably my right one. I'd done everything with my right one. And this one probably. Anyway, the bones was protruding right out. I remember Aunt Rhoda and Mama pulled that arm out and stretched it out, and me without even any aspirin, because we didn't believe in them and didn't know what there was. And they set that arm, and it was still broken, swelled up and hurt, and they prayed for it that night, and God healed it instantly that night. It was healed next morning. And Mom and them had prayed for it and believed for it, but they really didn't believe it was healed, because she was still trying to make me carry it in a sling. And every time I'd get it out, throw a rock at somebody, well, she'd whack me one. You've got to put that arm in there. And so that's how God done.